My dear friends, welcome back to our channel, where we explore ideas that can transform your life. Today, I want to share a powerful story about a young boy named Rohan, who struggled with wasteful thoughts but learned how to master his mind. Let's begin. In a peaceful village, there lived a bright young boy named Rohan. He had big dreams and wanted to achieve great things in life, but his biggest problem was that he couldn't focus. His mind constantly wandered into unnecessary thoughts, daydreams, past regrets, and future worries. His parents and teachers often reminded him to focus, but no matter how hard he tried, his thoughts would drift away. His mind was like an untamed horse, running wild in different directions. One day, during an important exam, Rohan faced his worst fear. As he looked at the question paper, his mind went blank. He had studied everything, but his thoughts were scattered. Time ran out, and he had barely written anything. When the results came, he failed 2 subjects. His teachers were disappointed, his friends felt bad for him, and his parents were deeply worried. That night, Rohan sat alone in his room, feeling helpless. Just then, his wise old grandfather entered and saw him sitting quietly. "What's wrong, Rohan?" he asked. With tears in his eyes, Rohan replied, "Grandpa, no matter how hard I try, my mind keeps running in different directions. I want to focus, but wasteful thoughts don't let me." His grandfather smiled and said, "Come with me." He took Rohan to the backyard where there was a large empty pot. Handing him a cup of dirty water, he said, "Pour this into the pot." Rohan did as he was told. Then his grandfather gave him a jug of clean water and said, "Now, pour this water into the pot until the dirt is gone." Rohan kept pouring clean water. Slowly, the dirty water was pushed out, and the pot was filled with fresh, clear water. His grandfather then said, "Your mind is like this pot. If you keep filling it with wasteful thoughts, it will become polluted. But if you pour in good, meaningful thoughts, the wasteful ones will be washed away." Rohan was puzzled. "But Grandpa, how do I replace wasteful thoughts with good ones?" His grandfather smiled and said, "Let me tell you a short story. Long ago there was a young warrior named Veer. He was strong and talented but doubted himself too much. Before every battle he thought, 'What if I lose? What if my opponent is stronger?' Because of these thoughts, he hesitated, lost small battles, and avoided challenges. Slowly, his confidence faded. One day, an old monk saw Veer sitting alone. The monk handed him a cup, half filled with water, and gave him a handful of salt. "Drop this salt into the cup and drink the water," the monk said. Veer did as he was told, but immediately spat the water out. It was too salty. The monk then took Veer to a lake and told him to drop the same amount of salt into it. Then he asked Veer to take a sip. This time, the water tasted fresh. The monk said, "The salt was the same, but the difference was in the size of the container. If your mind is small, even a little negativity will ruin it. But if you make your mind vast like a lake, no negativity will affect you." Rohan was deep in thought. He finally understood. "I keep my mind small, and that's why wasteful thoughts take over so easily. If I fill my mind with focus and discipline, the wasteful ones will disappear." His grandfather nodded. "Exactly. The mind is a powerful tool. If you don't control it, it will control you. But if you train it with the right thoughts, it will become your greatest strength." That night, Rohan made a decision. He would no longer let wasteful thoughts control him. He started practicing mindfulness and avoiding distractions. Whenever a wasteful thought entered his mind, he replaced it with a useful one. Slowly, his focus improved, and in the next exams he scored the highest in his class. Years later, Rohan became a respected and successful person in his village. People admired him for his wisdom and focus. Whenever someone asked how he overcame wasteful thoughts, he would smile and say, "Your mind is a pot. Fill it with good thoughts, and there will be no space for wasteful ones. If you allow wasteful thoughts, they will take over. But if you fill it with focus, positivity, and discipline, success will naturally follow. My dear friends, Rohan's story teaches us that the mind is a powerful tool. By filling it with positive, meaningful thoughts, we can overcome wasteful distractions and achieve our dreams. Let us train our minds to focus on what truly matters and build a life of success and fulfillment. If you found this video helpful, please share it with others who may benefit. Until next time, take care and keep growing.